Hello, this is Chill Computer Guy. Thank you for checking out my channel. Please subscribe. You'll be richly rewarded. Bitwig tutorials, mainly Bitwig, propeller head reason. We're going to have product reviews, VSTs, both synthesizers, EQs, dynamic range stuff. And we're also going to talk about some of the fundamentals. Might have some jazz in the background once in a while. Please subscribe to the channel. Much more content coming up. At least 3 new videos a week. Quick tips, we got Bitwig Studio, we got Propeller Head Reason, and we also have VSTs from Waves. Segment coming up soon. Free VSTs. Studio, again, working on audio, getting the audio right, getting everything right. Right now, the YouTube channel is celebrating its 3rd month. I've got 40 subscribers. I'm getting excited. Everything's getting a little bit better. Push it a little bit each time, and then push it a little bit each time, and then push it a little bit each time. And then that way I know if I just back it in there, it'll come back, it'll start swinging around again. You know, it'll just grab your attention, and then you'll want to subscribe. So please click wherever on this page right down below here. Subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, here's a new tutorial. This week we're going to making movement, making a patch with some movement to it, but not some crazy movement, to slow the movement down. Maybe have an LFO, and maybe have your time signature be 2-1, meaning the LFO opens and closes every 2 bars. That's extremely slow. But when you want to create movement, but not so much movement you give your listener a seizure, this is a great way to create something. And it's all with Bitwig default devices. We're going to be using the polysynth, and we're going to be using an EQ5 in this tutorial. Please check it out. It's this week's quick tip. Please subscribe. We'll have more tutorials for you next week. Hello, this is Chill Computer Guy. We're here in Bitwig Studio. We are going to talk about creating a pad with some movement. We have an EQ5, an LFO, and a polysynth. They're all part of this patch. Let's go ahead and open up the polysynth. And you can see we have the light pad preset. This is actually a preset. I've done some slight modifications to the preset, but I really like the light pad preset. And then we also have an LFO mod here, modulating an EQ5, which is right here. Now, I could have used the LFO of the polysynth to modulate the EQ, but I chose to use the LFO mod. The thing I like about the LFO mod is you can actually see what's going on with the LFO. Now we have a 2-1, which means the cycle of the LFO is 2 bars long, so that's a pretty slow LFO. Now you can see we have a sine wave here. Now this plus minus icon, this represents the 0 point. It's bipolar. Right now the 0, it's going from 0 to plus 100. Now if I click this, it's going to go minus 100, 0 to plus 100. So it's going into negative value. So that's what that icon is. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I don't want to go below 0. Now the R is the retrigger. Now it's grayed out, so the LFO is just going to go constant. Even if I hit a key, the LFO is not affected. Now, if I hit the R, every time I hit the key, the LFO starts from the beginning. And so that's what the R is. And you can see that actually reflected down here. So what we're doing is, by using the LFO mod, we're actually modulating the frequency from 1K up to about 10K. Now you don't really get any feedback on what it's modulating to. You can see the blue indicating that it's modulating, but you can't tell. You could tell the starting value is 1,000 hertz, but you can't really see the ending value, but I'm pretty sure it's right around 10K. And then, of course, your high and low pass filter. I recommend this on every single track. Use a high pass and low pass filter. Set them to 24. Something I do like about the EQ5 is the fact that you can just double click and type in 400, enter, or right here you can type in 16 and then hit K, enter, and that'll be kilohertz. So if you just type in 16, then you're all screwed up. That's going to default to 20 hertz. So you want to type in 16 and then the K. And so that'll put you right there. So we're going to go ahead and listen to this pad. What we've done is we've created a 4-bar loop here, and we're just going to hit play. So by increasing the attack all the way up, it kind of fades in at the beginning. You do get a little cutoff, but hypothetically, you're going to have something happen on the 5th bar there, that some bass or some hi-hat or a kick drum, something that will actually fill that in. As well as if you go here, instead of just a 4-bar note, you might well bring this down to a bar and then put a couple more notes in there. Again, keep it interesting, keep the pad movement. It's a much more interesting sound that way. And as long as either of these notes are 2 bars long, it will never actually reset. So you can see that we're modulating the whole time. Now if you hit the R, meaning to re-trigger the LFO, you'll get a whole different sound going on here. So by re-triggering the LFO, you do get a more distinctive sound. But again, we've created some movement in the pad, and so by doing that, we've created a more interesting sound, just some texture. Again, we'll see you next week. This is Chill Computer Guy. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Can you see?